There are countless philosophical questions that have puzzled humanity for millennia. But perhaps the most profound and persistently unanswerable is, why is there something rather than nothing? This deceptively simple question strikes at the very heart of existence itself. It's not asking about the origins of our universe specifically, or how life began on Earth, or even what caused the Big Bang. It's asking something far more fundamental. Why does anything exist at all? Why is there a universe, matter, energy, space, time, consciousness, or reality of any kind, rather than absolute nothingness? The depth of the mystery, the question is so profound because it seems to elude every conventional mode of explanation. When we ask scientific questions, we typically look for causes and mechanisms. Why did the dinosaurs go extinct? An asteroid impact. Why does water boil? Because heat increases molecular motion until phase transition occurs. But when we ask why there is something rather than nothing, we're asking about the existence of the entire causal framework itself. Every explanation we might offer seems to presuppose something already existing. Did God create the universe? Then why does God exist rather than not exist? Did the universe emerge from quantum fluctuations in a vacuum? Then why does that quantum vacuum exist, with its particular laws and properties? Did it emerge from a multiverse? Then why does the multiverse exist? We appear trapped in an infinite regress. Every answer simply pushes the question back one step, but never actually answers it. The question seems to demand an explanation that doesn't rely on anything prior, yet our minds are trained to think in terms of causes and effects, premises and conclusions. Why nothing seems more natural. What makes this question particularly vexing is that, intuitively, nothingness seems like it should be the default state. Existence appears to require something extra, some force, some cause, some reason. Nothing, by contrast, doesn't seem to require any explanation at all. Nothing is simpler than something. Nothing requires no causes, no mechanisms, no energy, no laws of physics. It just isn't. The philosopher Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz famously formulated this question in the 17th century, calling it the first question which should rightly be asked. He believed there must be a sufficient reason for everything, including existence itself. His answer was God, a necessary being whose essence includes existence. But this merely relocates the mystery rather than solving it. Why should there be a necessary being rather than no necessary being? Scientific perspectives and their limits. Modern physics has offered fascinating perspectives, but ultimately cannot resolve the question. Some physicists like Lawrence Krauss have argued that quantum mechanics shows how something can come from nothing in quantum field theory. Particle and T-particle pairs can spontaneously emerge from what appears to be empty space due to quantum fluctuations. However, critics rightly point out that this quantum vacuum is not really nothing in the philosophical sense. It's a seething field governed by mathematical laws, possessing energy and structure. The question remains, why does this quantum field exist with these particular properties? Why are there laws of physics at all? Why does mathematics describe reality? Stephen Hawking suggested that the universe could be self-creating due to quantum gravity effects near the Big Bang, eliminating the need for an external creator. But again, this presupposes the existence of quantum mechanics, gravity, and time itself. The fundamental question persists. Philosophical approaches. Philosophers have proposed various approaches to this question, none entirely satisfying. The necessary existence approach. Perhaps something must necessarily exist, just as it seems logically necessary that 2 + 2 = 4. Perhaps existence itself is somehow logically or metaphysically necessary. But why should existence be necessary while non-existence is impossible? This seems arbitrary and unexplained. The brute fact approach. Perhaps existence is simply a brute fact. It has no explanation and requires none. Reality just is, and that's the end of it. While intellectually honest, this feels unsatisfying, like giving up on the question entirely. It also seems to violate the principle of sufficient reason that underpins much of our reasoning about the world. The illusion approach. Some Eastern philosophies suggest that the question itself is flawed because existence and non-existence are not truly separate categories. Reality is fundamentally ineffable, beyond our concepts of something and nothing. While intriguing, this doesn't so much answer the question as dissolve it, which may itself be a kind of answer. The anthropic approach. Perhaps we can only observe a universe that exists because non-existent universes contain no observers. This is true but does unexplain why there should be any observer-containing universe rather than no universe at all. Why the question may be unanswerable. There are several reasons why this question might be fundamentally unanswerable. Cognitive limitations. Human cognition evolved to navigate mid-sized objects on an African savanna, not to comprehend the ground of all being. Our brains may simply lack the cognitive architecture to grasp certain ultimate truths, just as a dog cannot understand calculus. The question might be asking something that transcends our mental capabilities, the logical structure of explanation. All our explanatory frameworks presuppose existence. Logic, mathematics, causation, laws of nature, all of these are tools that work within reality. Using them to explain reality itself may be like trying to lift yourself by your own bootstraps. We may need a mode of understanding that doesn't yet exist, or cannot exist. Language limitations. The question itself uses language and concepts why, something, nothing, rather than that may not be adequate to the task. These words evolve to describe situations within the world, not the existence of the world itself. We may be using the wrong tool for the job, like trying to measure love with a ruler. The question's presupposition. Some philosophers argue the question contains hidden assumptions that make it unanswerable. It assumes that existence requires an explanation, that nothing is a coherent concept, that why questions always have answers. Perhaps challenging these assumptions is the way forward. The existential weight. What makes this question particularly powerful is not just its intellectual difficulty, but its existential weight. When we truly contemplate it not just as an abstract puzzle, but as a question about our own existence, it can induce a profound sense of vertigo. Why am I here? Why is there a here to be in? The sheer contingency and strangeness of existence becomes overwhelming. The 20th century philosopher Martin Heidegger considered this question the fundamental question of metaphysics. He believed that modern society has forgotten how to be astonished by existence, taking being for granted. Recovering this sense of wonder, what he called mystery of being, was central to authentic human existence. Existentialist philosophers emphasized the apparent absurdity of existence. We find ourselves thrown into a world we didn't choose, with no clear purpose or explanation. Albert Camus compared human existence to the myth of Sisyphus, eternally rolling a boulder up a hill. The universe offers no answer to why we exist, yet we must create meaning nonetheless. Religious and mystical responses. Religious traditions have grappled with this question for millennia, generally concluding that ultimate reality transcends rational understanding. In Christianity, God is described as I am, existence itself. In Hinduism, Brahman is the unchanging reality behind all appearances. In Buddhism, the concept of niyat, emptiness, suggests that the distinction between existence and non-existence is itself illusory. Mystical traditions across cultures report experiences of unity with existence itself, moments when the question dissolves not through intellectual answer but through direct experience. Whether these experiences reveal ultimate truth or are simply particular brain states remains debatable, but they point toward modes of engagement with the question beyond pure reason, living with the unanswerable. Perhaps the most mature response to this question is not despair at its unanswerability, but appreciation for the profound mystery at the heart of reality. The question reminds us that existence is not mundane or self-explanatory. It's strange, surprising, and ultimately mysterious. We are participants in something we cannot fully comprehend. This recognition can lead to various responses. Humility about the limits of human understanding, wonder at the sheer fact of being, gratitude for existence despite its inexplicability, or motivation to continue seeking even if the answer remains forever out of reach. The question, why is there something rather than nothing, stands as perhaps the ultimate philosophical question, not because it is the most complex or requires the most technical knowledge, but because it is the most fundamental and seemingly most resistant to any answer we could recognize as satisfying. It reminds us that beneath all our knowledge and understanding lies an unfathomable mystery, the simple, strange, undeniable fact that we and everything around us exists at all.